Hi, I'm Vanessa,
Hi, I'm Jacinta.
and we are Strange Colony.
I
Yeah, Strange Colony.
Yes. Are you going to help present Azzy, or are you going to react?
He's going to pull up my cord.
Super helpful, love that.
No, not touch. Not touch. No.
You can be our theme song this week. No? Okay.
Oh dear, this is what happens when they won't go down for their nap.
Oh, it's one of those days.
It is. How you been anyway?
I've been really good, super busy. I now want a hash brown from that place.
That place
Damn
does
you.
not sponsor us, so we're not saying your name.
Yes, you guys do not need any extra advertisement.
No.
I've had driving lessons, been to the chiropractor.
Awesome. How'd the chiro treat you?
Really good. All the cricks, but I'm going to have to go back weekly for a while because
Ooh.
I have a very old injury that's going to take a long time to get on top of to be the point of manageable again.
Yeah.
But yay for after over 15 years finally taking the steps needed to correct it.
Uh-huh. No, Kira, you can't have it. You're too little.
No.
That's right, yours.
No.
Yes, yours.
I love that. I'd be like that about food too.
No, mine. Yeah.
Also been doing all the car shopping, and honestly all the ads are starting to look the same.
I hear you. It's a bit like that when you're trying to find something, isn't it?
Yeah. So how you been? What have you been up to?
Well, I gave myself a mild concussion the other day. So it was that. Yeah, I got attacked by my retractable clothesline because I'm a ditz and a bimbo.
Oh my gosh, only you.
Yes.
I say that like I wouldn't do the same thing.
Well, you haven't done that exact thing, so you know that one's an only me so far. But otherwise, we had our Magic the Gathering. So anyone who plays MTG, yeah, it was a bit of an in-house competition. I did appallingly, thanks to one very, very bad loss. So the way we worked it is it was the rankings was based on the score difference.
Yeah.
So if you were up a certain amount or you were down a certain amount based on, yeah. And I took the biggest loss of the day. So
That's my girl.
yep. I didn't lose overall though. That honour went to my son. As
Go Kai.
Yeah. He held a consecutive loss streak with every single game.
At least he's consistent.
He was, and we worked it so that it was actually the loser that got a prize. It was a starter's deck, so that they could practice.
Oh, I love that.
So he was so excited.
Oh.
Worked out. So what you got for us today?
I have for you one that I've thrown on the back burner a lot and probably should have covered it when we first started.
Oh.
Yeah. It happened over the lockdown. I am going to be going over Melissa Caddick's story.
Oh, okay.
Still kind of carrying on from the theme of like missing persons from my last episode that I did, but this one's less sad.
Okay.
It doesn't, tug at the heartstrings. So
Interesting.
Melissa Louise Caddick, and she was born Melissa Louise Grimley. She was born here in Australia on the 21st of April in 1971. And she grew up in Lugano, which is just south of Sydney.
Okay.
She graduated high school and then furthered her education by enrolling in taken a secretarial and business administration course at Patrick's College in Australia.
Yeah.
Oh no, of Australia, in Sydney. Either way. That shit. Her first job after receiving her qualification was working for NRMA in their investment division.
Okay.
For those who may not know, NRMA are a major insurance provider in Australia. And after this job, she moved on to the Sydney branch of a boutique investment bank.
Ooh, boutique.
And yeah, like...
Pretty.
Yes, boutique.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not cutting that out.
Okay.
But she was employed as a office administrator
Okay.
for this company.
Yeah.
But 6 months after taking the job, and this was in 1988, it was discovered that she had stolen just under $2,000.
Oh.
It's like
Jeez.
a decent amount of money for the time period. Not a huge amount, but
Yeah.
decent. And she did it by forging her boss's signature on some checks.
Right.
And instead of prosecuting her, the boutique investment bank, they gave Melissa the option of leaving the company or returning the money.
Bye, bitches.
That's what she did. She bailed.
Yeah. How was that even a choice?
I mean, it depends on how much you still wanted that job.
Yeah, but even if you gave the money back, the whole time you're working there, they're going to be breathing down your neck.
Yeah, and could you face your co-workers?
No. But I have one of those consciences that makes me, like, fess up to shit like that. Sorry. Couldn't have done it in the first place.
Yeah. After this incident, Melissa worked for Wise Financial Services as a financial advisor. So she's back into helping people manage their finances and investment opportunities and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, Wise are a subsidiary of ING.
Ooh, they're a big one.
They are a big one, and they are still operational today. So, like, very long-standing in the financial community.
Very respected name.
Very much so. She purchased a 25% stake in the business after borrowing $750,000.
Sure, let's just borrow that amount. Wow.
Yeah. But I'm guessing she was expecting more than the interest repayments on the return.
Yeah.
And in her personal life at this point, she married her first husband, Tony Caddick.
All right.
And that's how she gained the last name. And this happened at the Garrison Church at Millers Point on April 20th in the year 2000.
Right.
Tony was a builder's labourer from England, and since he had studied political science in England, Melissa pushed Tony to go get a law degree, and he did that and became a solicitor.
Ooh.
Because, you know, him making trade money was not enough.
In Australia, trade money's pretty good money, though.
Trade money is great money, and it's pretty secure in terms of job employment.
I mean, it isn't lawyer money, to be fair.
No. But also, it depends on what branch of law you get into.
Yeah.
And whether you're working public or private, and yeah. A few years later, so it's 2003, she was so highly regarded in the financial field that she was on the cover of IFA, which is the Independent Financial Advisor. She ended up butting heads with company heads.
Okay.
But not for what you would think.
Normally it'd be, you know, woman around a bunch of men.
But it was because she was shady. She was,
Yeah.
she wanted to surpass some compliance issues in regards to wanting to recommend shares and property to her clients.
Right.
Like, morals? Who they? Don't know them. Ethics?
Never been there.
Yeah. That's not even a word. People in her private life were thinking that she lived well outside her means. And whenever they would broach the topic with her, she had a story about a big payment from Wise. So, the old subsidiary from ING.
Yeah.
But there was a few stories to go with that one. It was a severance payment, or it was a sexual harassment claim. But either way, the sum was always $86 million. She also used this sum later down the track when we get into some of her even more shady dealings. But the only actual severance that she got from Wise was a return of the $750,000 she invested. In 2006, she became a mother to a son, and in 2010 the family moved to Essex to be closer to Tony's family. Had nothing to do with the fact that she had more or less destroyed her reputation working in the financial field in Sydney.
Yep.
Nothing. Doesn't factor in. Melissa wasn't working at this stage, and it's said that she became bored with her life.
Yeah.
So she discussed with her husband about going to Switzerland for a conference to brush up on her financial skills. But in reality, she went to Paris to meet up with Anthony Caddick, who was her hairdresser from Sydney.
Oh.
And they'd been having an affair, which she intended to carry on.
That's a bit spicy.
It's very spicy. Now, he is much younger than she is by, I can't remember how much, but it was somewhere within the 10-year range,
Of course, toy boy.
Yes. And
So
she even
cliche.
covered, I know, like she went full sugar mama. She covered all the expenses and everything and bought lavish gifts.
So her husband actually covered. Yuck.
And it was a couple of years after that her husband really sort of started to click on, and he confronted her about it. After this confrontation, while he wasn't home, she cleaned out their house, emptied their joint bank accounts, and moved back to Sydney with their son.
Oh, that is rude of poor Tony.
Poor Tony. And she came back to Australia January 2012. And when she came home, she told friends and family that Tony had been controlling and abusive. Another one of those ones where they just
work the system, shine down on every single person who makes a claim. Yep, we hate them.
Boosa. In 2013, the divorce went through. That was it for Tony. He walked away, stayed in England. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, fair.
And power to him. Like, he cut his losses and run, and that was major losses to him.
Yeah.
Later that year, Melissa married Coletti.
Sure.
Because why not? And it was during the separation from her husband that she had started a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
Now, the numbers differ from what I could find, but she's reported to have misappropriated anywhere between $20 and $30 million from family and friends in client funds. This is how cold and savage she is. These are her family and friends.
Wow. Okay.
Like, mum, dad, aunts, uncles, when she got a PT. So, Ponzi scheme operated from 2012 to November 2019, we'll call it. On November 26th in 2019, the Australian Security Investments Commission, so ASIC, received an anonymous complaint about Melissa Caddick.
Yep.
But nothing was actioned because they received hundreds of complaints each month, and since this first report didn't make any allegations of a financial loss, there was nothing to investigate.
Right.
But another report was made in early 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when ASIC began their investigations into her.
Okay.
And after the investigations, they had enough evidence to apply to the courts to have her assets frozen.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened about 4 or 5 months down the track. So it was November 10th in 2020.
Yep.
And they applied for a search warrant, which was executed by the Australian Federal Police on the 11th. So it was all once they had it all there, very quickly.
Done. Yep.
It was just after the raid on November 12th that Melissa Caddick went missing.
Ooh. More spicy.
More spicy. It took Anthony Coletti 30 hours to report his wife missing. I do have some defense for him.
Yeah.
He's sugar baby. At the end of the day, that's what he was. He was on an allowance from her. He didn't have to work.
Yeah.
She wore the pants in the relationship. He answered to her, not the other way around.
Yeah, so if she was gone for a day, he just had to deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That was the nature of their relationship.
Still, was it normal for her to just not come home?
Not really, but also it did happen from time to time. He didn't really question it until she had an appointment from a designer from a very well-known jewelry brand. They personalize jewelry for very wealthy people, like the stars, shall we say. Like so Hollywood stars.
She missed an appointment that she wouldn't have normally missed.
Yes.
That was what triggered the whole thing.
And that, yeah. When her son was interviewed and questioned about it, he heard his mum leave at about 5:30 in the morning of the 12th.
Okay.
Which was normal for her. She'd get up and go for a jog. She was a very fit person, very health conscious.
Yep.
So that was normal. But she did leave her phone behind, keys behind, cars, like purse, everything, all of her personal effects. I don't know about you, but even if I leave my son at home and I go for a jog, I'm still purse and keys. Maybe even some ID.
Phone and keys for me.
Oh yeah, phone and keys, because, music. There was a few things that were suspicious, but the time she left home was pretty normal and routine for her.
Yeah. The when was normal, the what wasn't.
Yes. They were investigating where all the money was because they couldn't find that either.
Ooh, is this like a Cayman Islands account kind of switch?
Yes, it was spread across 37 bank accounts, some of them international, yes.
Holy shit!
And it was also put into assets.
Oh, this woman was a walking cliche of Conwoman.
Yeah. So I saw some video of when they raided her house and pulling out the jewelry pieces and stuff like that. There is Gucci, there is Cartier, there is very high-end pieces, and the jewel size in them or the diamond count and the clarity, oh my God.
Yep.
Like, just ridiculous. I can't remember which one drove the Beamer and which one drove something else, but they had luxury vehicles.
Of course. But what's the point of stealing all that money if you're not going to, flaunt it?
Oh, yeah, and pay for your toy boy. I mean, part of me wishes I had enough money to be a sugar mama. But then, yeah, I don't know.
I'd love the amount of money. I have no interest for a sugar baby, but I'd love the money.
I'd like to have a sugar baby who's like on call just for me. But then I can also like not see them for, weeks on end if I didn't feel like it.
Exclusive sex worker.
Yes, that's what I want. Goals.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thanks. But I think that's just me being used to my independent life.
Yes.
Like, spend so much time being on my own. Yeah. Start of the Ponzi scheme, she started off small. It was just, invest little bits here and there, kept it pretty quiet and all that sort of stuff. She was very charming, very good at manipulating. And yes, she had that thing where, with marketing, how they create that idea of scarcity.
Yes.
Oh, I've just had some people leave. I've only got a few more places left, and like make you feel like you needed to action a decision straight away.
FOMO.
Yes, she did that.
Clever.
Very clever. It works. It really does. So as it goes on, it gets bigger and bigger. The amounts get bigger and bigger. She becomes more and more daring, puts more and more of it out there, reaches out to more and more people.
Mm.
And she's keeping up this huge lifestyle. She's got a $6 million home. She's put her parents in a couple of $1 million penthouse. She's got like all the designer brands for like clothing, shoes. She had a Gucci wedding dress.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No. And yet the artwork, oh my God.
I would like to be able to afford artwork.
Yeah. She even faked qualifications on her resume.
Of course.
Including a degree from the University of Technology in Sydney.
Wow, that's ballsy.
I know. And when contacted in regards to the investigation, they have, and I quote, no record of completion of a graduate diploma in finance or a master's of business finance or any qualification at all under the name Melissa Caddick or Melissa Grimley.
Noted.
End quote.
That means that literally no one checked her qualifications.
No one. She is doing this on a very basic what we would call a business administration certificate. So what I'm qualified as.
Okay, I mean, there's fake it till you make it, but she must be bloody brilliant. I hate to say it, because, dodgy, horrible person, but...
Also, her ability to just sell it.
Yes. I mean, she must have been making her clients some money, otherwise they wouldn't have stayed with her.
Huh. Well, now that you bring that up...
Oh, dear.
When clients invested money, she would falsify CommSec portfolio statements. Now, CommSec, for those who don't know, are Australia's largest stockbroking firm.
Wow.
She would fake numbers and show what return her investments were achieving for her investors. And they never questioned it. It wasn't until the raid happened and it became public knowledge that her investors, because these are her friends and family, they trusted her, would call CommSec with their account numbers, only to be told they didn't have an investment account with them.
Oh, so she was literally funneling all the money that she had invested. Like, she wasn't even putting up a front, really.
No. So your typical Ponzi scheme, like, you ask people to invest, and then the more people you get invest, you use to pay the people prior who invested, and it just goes on and on and on. She literally just funneled all the money for her own personal use.
Again, very
for
gutsy.
7, nearly 8 years.
Wow. Gotta wonder who the tips were from then.
I still don't know who the tips were from. I believe that they wanted to remain anonymous.
Yep. Pretty standard.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if they had to be subpoenaed for anything in regards to the court stuff, they could ask for their names to be...
Gag order, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's now February 2021.
Yeah.
Sunday the 21st. And a shoe with a decomposed foot was found washed up on Bondi Beach, which is just south of Tathra.
Wait.
And this is about 500 k's from where Melissa was last seen.
Damn,
Now you're wondering,
Skippy.
what is the relation to our case? The shoe was a match to her size and a description of the footwear that she was seen wearing when the raid took place.
Right.
So like the chest cams from the police when they were raiding, yep. Size, make of shoe, same. A week later, on the 26th of February, a press conference was held and it was announced that after DNA testing had taken place between the remains of this rotting foot found in a shoe and her hair, samples from her toothbrush, samples from her parents, blah, 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 like they tested extensively, the foot belonged to Melissa Caddick.
Wow.
Yeah.
I told myself I would say things other than wow, but wow. That's...
So...
Yeah.
Like, the plot does thicken and the mind just goes wild with the possibilities.
Well, I mean, if she had all of her family and friends that she was ripping off, literally anybody could be a suspect.
Literally everybody's a suspect.
Oh my god! I want them to do like a Poirot on this or some shit.
I do and I don't, because there is the whole she could have faked it. Like, cut off her foot.
That would work into a Poirot as well, just fine.
I know, but I don't want her to get away.
No. Like, yeah, but cutting off your foot, that's next level.
I know.
For someone who's clearly about themselves and about self-preservation, it doesn't seem like a likely step.
It depends on how desperate you are.
True.
But, it is possible with tidal and drift patterns, as discussed with the Theo Hayes case, because this is just north of that.
Yeah.
So Bondi is south of Sydney. We're in the eastern suburbs of Sydney on the northern side, I believe.
Yeah.
So with the tidal and drift patterns that if a body entered the water near Dover Heights, which is where her home was, the $6 million waterfront property, the tides and water patterns head back up to Bermagui.
Yeah.
Which is about 40 clicks north of Tathra. So, kind of same area, not quite, but close enough for there to be a correlation.
Yeah.
And to further frustrate investigations, CCTV footage was not able to pick her up after leaving the house, but she did leave alone.
Yeah.
Thus far in the investigation, there is not enough details for police to have any singular hypothesis as to what has actually happened. They have not been able to rule out endgaming yourself. They have not been able to rule out murder.
Yeah.
And they have not been able to rule out that she or someone else has faked her own death.
Oh my god.
For her to get away.
That's insane.
It is absolutely insane. In an October 2021 interview, Coletti states that Melissa never stole from anyone and that someone killed his wife. My wife is innocent. She didn't steal from anybody.
Sure.
And someone must have killed her.
Yeah, someone. Professor
of Criminology, Dr. Xanthi Mallet, who was interviewed by Sunrise presenters, states that losing a foot doesn't mean that she is dead, as you can live without a foot.
Well, yes.
Other theories presented by criminologists are that Melissa is hiding and the foot is a red herring, so pretty much the same as the other one.
Yep.
Or that even Coletti is helping her to hide and all that sort of stuff because he's potentially trying to throw off the investigation and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But it is also, she could have been murdered.
Yeah. But the running assumption is faking of the death, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. I watched, again, police footage from the raid and they're talking to him in the home. And he does seem a little bit off.
Okay.
He seems a bit rigid. He is not displaying a lot of emotion and things like that.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also thinking back to the fact that she wears the pants in the relationship. He could still be scared of saying or doing something wrong.
If he doesn't know what's happened to her. Yeah.
Yes. So, I don't know. I have two minds about that, and I haven't really sort of sat and watched it and really tore it apart.
Yeah.
But also we all react differently to different situations. So, at the end of the day...
All right, but what's your favourite theory?
My favourite theory is he is hiding her.
He's hiding her. Okay.
Because he is objecting to the sale of the home and the federal courts, like, officially objecting to it in the courts.
Okay.
And the courts gave him 6 weeks to stake his claim over the Caddick's home and the penthouse apartment in Edgecliff, which is where her parents live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the parents are claiming that they gave their daughter just over $1 million with the understanding that they would have part ownership and lifetime tenancy.
Yep.
So they're saying, like, we were defrauded too.
Yep.
We invested, we were defrauded, we should get this penthouse as compensation, essentially. Even though the penthouse is worth more than the amount that they invested.
Of course.
And it wasn't just the house. He wants shares of all the assets, including, like, all the jewelry and all the properties, the luxury cars, like, all the designer brand clothing and jewelry. He wants portions of what the proceeds from when they liquidate. Now, liquidators are doing this, selling everything off in order to give back to the people who invested.
Yeah, the actual
to recoup
victims?
the losses. Yes. So the parents, if they only invested just over $1 million, that's what they're entitled back.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Not a penthouse.
No.
Coletti didn't invest anything. He lived off of that money.
Yes.
He's not entitled jack shit.
He invested something.
Time.
Your body.
Fair. I mean, I do have a partner where I look back and I'm just like, I totally wasted my youth on you. You got my hot body and I hate you for it.
Oh my God, can relate. But yeah.
But there was still $4 million owing on the $6 million home. So even when they sell that off, they've got to pay off that loan and then they're still not going to have that full whatever they get.
No.
To go towards the $23 million, I think it was, that they're trying to recoup.
Holy moly. That's a lot. It's a lot.
So in May of 2022, Coletti was ordered to vacate the premises.
Good.
He was evicted.
Yep.
Just before that, in April, ASIC dropped 38 criminal charges against Caddick.
Just because she couldn't be found, or?
More or less, yeah. The court found out that her company, Maliver, had been operating without proper financial license between October 2012 and November 2020.
Yeah.
And that's when they seized all the assets.
Yeah. That was the trigger.
There are 72 people who have been affected by her, lost money to her.
Wow.
And primarily being inner circle people, friends, family, and things like that.
Yeah.
People who thought they could trust her.
Yeah. My favourite is that somebody who's not even on the radar murdered her. Like, not even one of the people affected, like a friend of a friend.
That has possibilities. Like, what if one of the people affected had connections to, like, some shady people?
Or had a loved one that was willing to take matters into their own hands.
Yes. So there was a whole Underbelly series that was made on her.
Oh. Screw Poirot then.
Yeah. I can't remember which one it is. Now I'm going to look it up. So it's called Underbelly Vanishing Act.
That's appropriate, isn't it?
I know, right?
Yes, it is.
I've never watched any of the Underbellies.
Me either. Which is weird considering we like Australian true crime.
I know, but I lived in Victoria at the time, and so the original Underbelly series, those people were still alive and they had court cases at the time, so they couldn't actually screen it in Victoria.
Right.
So I just never got into it.
I didn't get into it because a lot of it's gang-based.
Yeah.
And I'm just not into gangs, really.
Not about that life.
No thug life for me.
No. I have to wonder if she, like, bailed back to England, because there was a theory that she got back in touch with, like, ex-hubby and bailed back to England. But I'm pretty sure that he was cut and dry with her, like, I'm done.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to think that she would, being such a driven person, she would just off herself.
Yeah, no. I don't like that one at all.
No, I just don't think she would go down without a fight.
No. She'd throw somebody else under the bus first.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe Toy Boy thought he was going to be scapegoat.
Ooh, that's possible. How old's her son now?
He was 14 at the time, so he'd be 16 now. 16 or 17. He's nearly an adult. Same age as my own spawn now when the raid happened.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have gone to live with his dad because dad would have automatically had
custody. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely would not be sending him to go live with her parents.
No.
Makes you wonder how much they knew as well.
Shady is as Shady does.
Yeah. All the cash grabbing at the end. Like they're trying to retain assets.
What about the whole, like, her being qualified and stuff? Like, there is no way I could not mention stuff to my mum about earning a qualification and studying and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, she didn't have a terrible relationship with them because, you know, she put them in a freaking penthouse. So...
Yeah. And because the university that the investigators called to check about the qualifications, that is an Australian university in Sydney.
Yeah.
So it's not like she could do the whole, I got that when I was in Essex.
No.
You know, if you were going to lie, that one would make the most sense. It's just too many unknowns.
A lot of unknowns. Oh.
So, let us know your thoughts and theories.
Nice little mystery again, Ness. You're making a habit
You're welcome. Hope you can all sleep at night.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. Let's be honest, we only really care about what happened to her because of curiosity's sake.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if she got offed, whatever, like...
As horrible as it sounds, because, you know, she's a human being too. She wasn't really much of a human being.
No.
So.
No. To be able to do that to people who care about you and not feel any guilt about it. Oh my God. Anywho, if you would like to get in touch with us, you can hit us up over on Instagram. We are at Strange Colony 2.0. We're on Twitter at Strange Colony. We have Facebook, Strange Colony Podcast. What's our TikTok? Strange Colony?
Probably.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Look, don't even bother going over there yet. We haven't really done anything. But we have one.
Yeah.
We have one.
Yay! When we do the thing about the thing, we'll memorize the thing.
Exactly. Oh, and we keep forgetting to tell you to do this. Like and subscribe.
That!
Please. If you made it all the way through, because we know you must like us if you stay for the whole story. Hit them buttons.
Heck, if you made it half the way through.
Hit them buttons. That's a YouTube one, obviously.
Yeah. Most of the podcasts you can like episodes and stuff too, I'm pretty sure.
Depends on which.
Most of the podcast service.
Streaming service. Yeah, anywho.
Yeah. We'll get on top of this shit eventually. Maybe. Unlikely, but we're going to try.
This is coming from Ness, who tried to tell me today to just accept that I am a hot mess and stop trying to fight nature.
I feel attacked. All right. We also have Gmail.
Oh, yeah.
strangecolony@gmail.com. Until next week, stay safe.
Stay sane.
I love you. Bye-bye.
I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.